Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is DVD Collector 1986 here with a new video. Um, this is a collection update video. I'm just going to show you a few titles that I technically got last month, but I didn't get around to showing them. And then I have some movies that I ordered this month that also came in. So there's a pretty good size stack here. And there's a whole bunch more movies coming that aren't here yet. So there's going to be probably at least one other collection update video, maybe two. Just depends. I might just wait for everything else to show up. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. Um, I don't usually buy DVDs anymore unless it is a movie that you can only get on DVD that is, that they don't have on Blu-ray. So Butterflies Are Free with Goldie Hawn and Edward Albert. I watched this for the first time a few days ago, sometime last week, and I really enjoyed it. It's an older movie, 72. Yeah, 1972. I'm starting to get a knack for some of these older movies from the late 60s and into the 70s. A lot of movies that I guess my palette of movies is starting to grow, expand, and I'm actually glad because there's a lot of older movies that I actually like now that I used to not like. So anyway, Butterflies Are Free, and I meant to show this in my last video, but it hadn't arrived yet. Rambo Part 4 on 4K. Looks really good. Zombieland Double Tap on 4K, aka Zombieland 2. I've heard mixed reviews on this. A lot of the reviews, you would be surprised, at least out of the reviews I watched, there was a lot of people that were hating on this movie. And I don't know what is wrong with people. There's a problem nowadays with people. People have reached a point where nothing you can do is going to satisfy them, or they're never pleased with anything. People are just weird about that. But this movie is really good. The first movie is funnier. I'll give the first one that. But this one is good also in its own right. And it may not be as funny as the first one, but I have to admit something. I might be in the minority here, but I sort of enjoyed this one a little bit better than the first one, because of the plot, what happens to the characters, and some of the places they go, and some of the things that happen to them. And there's also a lot of Elvis Presley references in this. Maybe that's why. But I enjoyed this one quite a bit. So Zombieland Double Tap, that looks good on 4K as well. Now, this is going to look kind of weird. It's in an unmarked generic Blu-ray case. I bought this off of eBay. It is just the Blu-ray disc by itself. Didn't come with a case. Didn't come with artwork, so I'll have to print out some artwork later. But this is the new Terminator. Terminator Dark Fate. Is it the best Terminator movie? No. It's really good, though. It's different. It'll probably be Schwarzenegger's last Terminator movie. Matter of fact, there's actually a scene in the movie where he says, it's a line in the movie where he says to another character, "I won't be back," in his Terminator voice. But it's a line in the movie, but it's like that's his way of saying to the fans watching the movie that he's probably not going to do another one of those movies. Um, it's a good sequel though. Linda Hamilton is back in it, and I enjoyed it. For it's not the greatest, not even close, but it was still fun and it was entertaining, and I still enjoyed it. And for me, there will never be a Terminator sequel that will ever top Terminator 2. Terminator 2 was where this franchise peaked, and there will never be another Terminator movie that's as good as T2, and T2 is better than T1. That's just my opinion, but that's how I feel about it. But I enjoyed that new Terminator movie for what it was. It was pretty entertaining. Um, Here's another movie. I put it in a generic case. I haven't printed out any art, so it looks kind of bad, but this is the new Joker movie, um, with Joaquin Phoenix. Really dark comic book movie. Kind of really messed up movie, but a very good origin story for the Joker. I really enjoyed that. Next is some Clint Eastwood movies. Bridges of Madison County, good romance, love story kind of movie. Actually directed by Clint Eastwood. And some people aren't into these kinds of movies. I'm not really into love stories and stuff like that, but it's Clint Eastwood, people. So, I had to get it. I'm actually trying to get all of his movies, in fact. Next, another classic of his, Pale Rider. I really enjoy this one. He's supposed to be a ghost in that movie. That's what I have heard. And if he is, that's pretty interesting. Another one, The Outlaw Josie Wells. There is actually a really interesting, well, no, actually two really interesting featurettes on here if you buy this version. One is called Eastwood in Action, and then the other one is called Hell Hath No Fury, the making of the outlaw Josie Wells. Those two featurettes are really interesting, and if you like this movie or if you're just a fan of Clint Eastwood in general, I highly recommend picking up this release for those two featurettes. And another Clint Eastwood movie, Hang 'em High, another Western of his from the 70s, I believe. Hold on a minute, and I can tell you. Oh, wait a minute. I was wrong. It's from the 60s. I thought it was early 70s, but I was wrong. 1968. I love Clint Eastwood. And just as a heads up, in my next collection update video, you're going to see a lot more Clint Eastwood movies. This month, as far as buying Blu-rays and upgrading DVDs to Blu-ray and all that, this month is Clint Eastwood month for me. So you're going to see some quite a bit more of Clint Eastwood's movies in my next video as well. So I got a few things, other things too. Walking Dead Season 9. I still have a slight interest in the show, but this is the last season that has Rick Grimes in it. And as far as I'm concerned, if there's no Rick Grimes, there is no Walking Dead. The comic book series is over with. They have finished it. And I think that the show was really good when it started. It was amazing. but I feel like this show has gone on a little too long. And they just keep dragging it on and dragging it on, and they needed to quit while they were ahead. Um, I will probably pick up other seasons in the future as they become available. But if you're just a Walking Dead fan that enjoyed the Walking Dead that had all the episodes and seasons that had Rick in them, just stick with the first 9 seasons and forget the rest. But anyway, I picked this up. This was an upgrade, a documentary called Back in Time about the legacy and the cultural impact of the Back to the Future trilogy. Really interesting documentary. I also have another documentary that I picked up a long time ago called Out of Time, where they actually take the original DeLorean from the first Back to the Future film and they completely restore it. So if you're a fan of Back to the Future, get this documentary and get the other one that's called Out of Time. Uh, those two documentaries go hand in hand with the Back to the Future films. Next, a Stallone movie, Cobra. A lesser known movie that never turned into a franchise, but for what it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Here's an upgrade. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I had the first one, so I had to get the second one, It Chapter 2. It Chapter 1 is better, but I really enjoyed this one as well. It Chapter 2. And there's a lot of features on this. This meeting of the Losers Club has officially begun. Pennywise lives again. Finding the Deadlights. And some other documentaries on here. The Summers of It. Chapter 1, You'll Float 2, and Chapter 2, It Ends. Some really good behind the scenes stuff on there. So definitely pick this up if you enjoyed that movie. Here's I think it's by Robert Eggers, the guy who directed The Witch, Lighthouse. I really enjoyed this movie. Weird movie, kind of hard to figure out what's going on sometimes. This movie, its tone and the way it's presented, reminded me of watching the original The Shining from 1980 with Jack Nicholson. The weird sort of vibe you get from The Shining is the same vibe you'll get from watching this. Really interesting. And Robert Pattinson has come a very long way from his Twilight movie days. So I really enjoyed this, and Willem Dafoe gives a really good performance in this as well. That movie's not for everyone though. It's just one of those movies. You just have to watch it. It's a weird movie, but some people will like it and some people won't. And towards the end here, I got a few Shout Factory Blu-rays. John Carpenter's Vampires. Really love this movie, and this thing is loaded with special features, which I'm a special features guy. My Bloody Valentine, the collector's edition. I ordered this early from Shout Factory, so I got the Blu-ray. I got it comes with 2 different slip covers, and it comes with 2 different full-size posters. It's really cool stuff. definitely pick up this release if you're a fan of this movie. It's pretty good. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed with in this movie was I thought that the special features were a bit lacking. I thought there would be more. But still, this is a really good release nonetheless. I'm a big fan of this movie. This is actually a Canadian slasher, and so is Black Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. I would say Black Christmas and My Bloody Valentine are probably some of the best slashers to ever come out of Canada. They're really good, and I enjoy them a lot. Lastly, the collector's edition of Night of the Creeps with Tom Adkins, his classic line "Thrill Me." And this release, on the other hand, is loaded with special features. It has tons of new interviews with like cast and crew. I mean, tons of interviews. In addition to all the special features that were on the previous Blu-ray release as well. So, and there was a rather extensive multi-part documentary on the regular Blu-ray release of this that was not from Shout Factory, that was all about the making of the movie, that was very interesting. Well, that documentary is included in this, along with all the new stuff. So if you're a fan of this movie, definitely get this. This is the release that you want to have if you like this movie. So anyway, that will do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love movies. I will always love movies. It's my hobby. It's my passion in life. And I thank you guys for watching. And I will catch you guys on the next video, which will most likely be another collection update video. And I'm also throwing around some ideas for some new videos. So I'll be posting some more videos pretty soon. Anyway, you guys take care. And I will catch you on the next video. Thanks.